This is going to be one of the biggest years of my life, but I'm here for it. I've prepared the best that I possibly can to put myself in the best position this year. Trust me when I say this. The time is now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Time Is Now. We're in a new episode. Today, we're going to do another full day of eating. But today, we're going to do a full day of eating on a rest day. So for those of you guys that have followed the channel for a while, you guys know that I have two separate macros. One for training day, one for a non-training day. Now, they are different. There is less calories on the rest days, generally because there is less activity on the rest days. I'm not training, I'm not having a huge output. I have less glycogen demand, have less demand for carbohydrates within my system because I'm not training as hard or at all. Therefore, we just drop that carbohydrate down. So today's macros are going to be 300 protein, 300 carb, and they're going to be 80 fat. So my food on my rest days has dropped a little bit. It started on about 3,700 calories. So I think it's about 400 carb or something and 120 fat or something. So we've pulled that right down to 3,000-ish calories, which is pretty low for me. Someone, like I was 110 kilos this morning. I'm fairly lean. I do a lot of activity at the moment. I'm training. And that's a little amount of food for me, 3,000 calories. So it's going to leave me hungry, but it is what it is. We are here just having me morning coffee. So we're having my coffee, black coffee, no sugar, no sweetener, no nothing. We have the euhimbine in, we have ghrelin growth hormone and carnitine in. We're going to go do half an hour cardio, or 20 minutes of cardio in the annex. I've got my bike set up. I'm going to smash that. We're then going to probably relax for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go walk for about half an hour, 40 minutes. So the first thing that I do on my rest days is actually just activity, and I spend about 3 hours fasted. I was up at 7, it's now about 8. I spend the first hour just fasted without doing anything. Then I'll start taking my thermogenics, and then I'll go do my cardio around 8 o'clock. So we're gonna get into it, and we'll show you the first meal in a minute. Still at just 20 minutes for the moment, not too bad. 140 beats a minute the whole way through. Oh my God. So let me get my breath back on. So something I encourage you guys to do is to count your heart rate. Put your fingers on your neck and count yourself every single. No, I'm joking. Use a heart rate monitor, use an Apple Watch, whatever you've got. And I recommend keeping yourself at a heart rate level. Thing is, with cardio, as you go through a prep or any bout of cardio, you get better at that cardio. You get cardiovascularly more efficient. So that same level, that same work rate, it will become easier. So if you were to do the same level, the same incline on a treadmill, for example, and you got fitter and fitter and fitter, you'd see your heart rate come down, down, down as you get more efficient at that. Instead, we count our heart rate and we keep that steady because we know that 140 beats a minute is X amount of work. And if you have to work harder to get your heart rate to 140, that counteracts you getting fitter. So that's my tip. Cardio done. Now stick the hoodie back on and I'm straight out for a half an hour walk, 4,000 steps. And then we'll be back for breakfast, finally. Right then, we've showered. We feel a little bit better. I actually pulled out a Monster and I put it back away because I thought, don't need it just yet. I'm very much in that phase where I'm tired and I want to reach for the caffeine, but I know that I will have a detrimental impact on my sleep, a detrimental impact on my adrenal fatigue, things like that. So early on, I've still got 3 more months to go, so I'm going to hold off on the Monsters just yet. We're in for breakfast. Now, breakfast is usually the same on a rest day. It's normally 2 bagel thins. Which is 25 carb per thin. You swap to the thins when you know prep is real from the normal bagels. Normal bagels are 45 carb, these are 25 carb each, so 2 of them is basically 1. I then have eggs and I have bacon. I don't have any type of eggs. Come on. We have Clarence Court egg whites. Egg whites have taken an upgrade since I last prepped. I've not had egg whites since 2019, but Clarence Court egg whites. And then I have these long stock gold eggs. And they're so fucking orange. that you have 2 of these eggs in 300 grams of egg whites, it almost tastes and feels like a normal whole egg, which is amazing because I love whole eggs. So we have 200 grams of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, which is about 120 grams, 110 grams, depending how big the egg sizes are. And like I said, I usually go for bacon medallions. Now, I either go smoked, I normally go smoked, because if you don't have smoked, what are you doing? But today, I was in the supermarket on the way home and I thought, I quite fancy some salmon. So today, I've gone with, I've already laid these all out. I've gone with 120 grams of salmon as well, some smoked salmon. I do think that it's important to have some fish in your life, maybe once a week or so. So this is my fish for the week. I've not had fish in months, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I quite fancy some salmon, so I had a little bit of. So I'm gonna have a little bit of salmon. Probably gonna put a tiny bit of horseradish. I'm gonna put the salmon in the bagels. Have an egg white omelette on the side with the 2 whole eggs. And I'm gonna load up with vegetables like I have been doing. My favorite vegetables at the moment. Or salad or greens. I have lots of green salad, lots of rocket, things like that. But these alfalfa sprouts are the ones. They just come in little salad toppers. They're a little bit expensive for what they are, but they offer such a great texture to the meal. So I just sprinkle these on top. So this is meal 1. We have 52 grams of carbohydrates on there, mostly coming from bagel thins. 25 grams of fat. This is my higher fat day. I have 80 grams of fat today, so 25 grams, a good proportion of it in the morning. I find that I'm so hungry on these days that having a pretty big bolus of fats in the morning keeps me a little bit fuller for longer until that next meal. Then we've got 73 grams of protein. Quite a big old bit of protein, but we're mainly looking at the protein that you're getting from the eggs here and the salmon here, because we know those are complete sources. You're gonna get about 10 grams of protein from the bagels. I count it into my calories because it's calories, right? It's protein, it still is there. But I account for those incomplete proteins in having higher protein in general. So I have 300 grams of protein a day. A lot of people say that's quite high for me. I'm about 245 pounds, so it's over a pound per, it's over a gram per pound of body weight. But that's because my food's not crazy low. So in having those high carbohydrates and fats, you accumulate these proteins. For example, there's 10 grams of protein in 2 of those bagels. If you have bigger bagels, there's 20 grams of protein in them, from the gluten and whatnot. So in having higher protein, it accounts for maybe 30 to 50 grams of that being incomplete protein. So that's it. Meal 1, we tend to have 3 meals and a snack, which ends up being about a meal size as well. Maybe I think probably, I would say we've got 4 meals and a snack today. So that's meal 1 done. I'm gonna sit down on my laptop or on my iMac right here, and I'm gonna play a game of chess. Because those of you guys that don't know, I've been playing a lot of chess recently. I'm not very good, but I'm getting better. If you want to add me, it's my name on chess.com. See the next meal. So it's about 1:15 now. I know that I'm going to be eating around 2 o'clock. I normally eat about every 3 to 4 hours, kind of how it fits in. So I kind of go and finish off the majority of my steps for the day. I'm on about 5,000 now. So I'll probably go ahead now and do 4,500, which is about a 45-minute walk or so. We'll come back, relax for 5-10 minutes, and then we'll get into the next meal. I kind of just prefer to get my stuff done early. I think something important for you guys to know is that if you do 10,000 steps before you go to bed, you're probably going to be a bit lighter, because I do mine early in the morning and I finish everything by maybe 2 p.m. and I don't do anything in the evening. I may be heavier because of that, but it doesn't make a difference because it's consistent. I'm always doing that. I'm always tracking my weight in the same way, so it's not going to matter too much. So I'm going to go off, stick a podcast on, walk for 45 minutes, and get some food because I'm starving. Right, then we are sitting down. Excuse my yellow coat. We're sitting down for Meal 2, and I'm hungry. You would have seen there, in this chicken there is mixed herbs, there's smoked garlic, which is why it was yellow, for anyone wondering. It's not off, it's just smoked garlic. And there's a little bit of lime in there, as you guys saw. 250 grams, which is about 60 grams of chicken, 60 grams of protein. We've got 3 of these flatbreads that you guys would have seen. I love these as a good as a good vessel for consuming. Nice for like Mexican things like that. All these condiments, like the thing about condiments is they're either really, really low calorie or 0 calorie, or you use them every single day consistently, no matter what, and it doesn't make a difference anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about the condiments that are kind of salt based. If they're sauce based, a little bit different. You have to probably count them in. But really easy meal. Got a little bit of a salad. Got a little bit of a salsa, which we'll put on, and then we've got this. It's not going to focus. Anyway, this is like tzatziki that we made from the night before, and it's literally just made from Faye yogurt, pronounced Faye. It's literally 50 grams of yogurt, some cucumber, some lime, some garlic. So it's a very, very minimal, calorie, tasty impact to a meal. 50 grams is like 5 grams of protein and like a gram of fat or something. But you can mix it in with cucumber, some salt and some lime, and you can get a nice tzatziki in there. Mix all this together. This is meal 2. This ends up being 62 grams of carbohydrates, most of those coming from the flatbreads here. 15 grams of fat, you know what? Mostly from the flatbreads, and then 5 grams from this. And then we've got 77 grams of protein. So let's dig in. So we're back with another meal. Meal 3, we have 250 grams of chicken here under this vegetables. 250 grams of chicken, which again is around 60 grams of protein. We have 80 grams of raw, this is all raw weight, jasmine rice. This is roughly 60 carbs, 65 carbs. We also have a smidgen of like teriyaki sauce in there. I only put about 30 grams in there. So it ended up being about 46 calories, so it's not too bad. Added a little bit of beetroot in as well with the salad. There's some mixed vegetables which you would have seen in the stir fry type thing. I like to try and get different vegetables as much as I can, as well as the salads, as well as the beetroots and stuff, especially when I'm on prep and I'm pushing my body to the limit. I think one thing that I wanted to just say, because I do like to drop little education points in there, I salt all my food. I think that's something that maybe you guys miss, and a lot of people are afraid of salt because they think it's going to cause blood pressure. If you are abusing salt, it will do, but if you are managing your potassium and your salt intake, your sodium intake, actually it might help regulate your blood pressure. It might help regulate your general cell fluid balance. So that's why those days you do have that big cheat meal and you have an influx of sodium more than you would do normally, you kind of hold water. It's because of that imbalance in that cell. So I'm going to sit down, I'm going to eat this. It's about 580, about 600 calories. We've got 75 carb-ish, 5 fat-ish, and 65, I'm just rounding up there, and 65 protein. So this is meal 3, meal 2. I can't remember. I've got 1 more, 2 more. We still got 2 more meals in, so we're going to sit down and eat this. Catch up, you see. Pop chips. Maybe my only clutch on prep. I love these goddamn pop chips. Barbecue flavour, salt and vinegar flavour. Any one of these flavours will satisfy not only the palate, but that crunch that you want. So I have 60 grams of these. It's about 290 calories. Is it a waste of calories? Probably. But I'm going to hold on to them for now. And I'll decrease them in a bit. But for right now, 60 grams of pop chips, salt and vinegar. Smash. So final, penultimate feeding window, penultimate feed. My second to last food of the day, but also my last protein of the day. I didn't realise how much protein I've had. So this is 250 grams of lean mince. That's 5% fat mince. I get my mince from the Meat Man, which is just like a online butcher, but it's pretty good beef. We've then got 250 grams of potatoes, and then a little bit more of that yogurt, total yogurt. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of salsa to this, and that's it. This meal is 570 calories, maybe a little bit more with the salsa on top. But I don't count any of my vegetables. I don't count any of my vegetables, any of my salad. I don't count my salsa because I have the same every day. I keep 1 scoop of salsa and a handful of salad and whatever it is. And when I'm mixing in my vegetables, I'm having the same amounts every day, so I'm not too worried about measuring them in my fitness pal as such. Because all the fiber and whatnot, it's going to be not accurate on my fitness pal, but I know that I've got enough in there. So I'm going to sit down and eat this. I'll see you at the final bit of food for the evening. It's also 7 o'clock. So we ate at 11, 2, 5, 7:30. It's 25 past. It's not 7 o'clock. 7:30. And I'll probably eat again in just an hour because I like to eat a lot of food. And there we have it. Last meal. Last food. So, 20 grams of Manny Life dark roasted smooth peanut butter. I actually don't like it on oats, which is the other part of this. So I just eat it off the spoon, personally. I need to get some dark chocolate because I don't want to be eating peanut butter spoon. I'd rather have a couple squares of dark chocolate. And then 70 grams of oats here. So, 42 carb, 15 fat, 13 protein. That wraps off the day and the macros off at 300 protein, 300 carb, and 80 fat. The only other thing that I do ingest today is PM priming. This is just like a pre-sleep drink which I've been using, and it's been knocking me out and having some really good sleep. So that's it. That's all of the calories that I consume on a rest day. A little bit different from a training day. A little bit less food. Probably a little bit more veggies, a little bit more variety, because I still do change things up, but this is the backbone of my food at the moment. And I'm just going to put some maple walnut, 0-calorie Walden Farms on it. Forgot about that. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed another video. Hope you guys enjoyed another eating video. We'll be back with another one soon. I think we'll do these periodically, like I said. As we get leaner and leaner and leaner, things might change. So if you're enjoying the series so far, drop a comment, drop a like. We'll see you soon, guys. Peace, everybody.